Hi everyone. Last week we learned about the 6 ways to create illusion of space in art. We have overlap, shading, placement, size, value, and focus, and then we learned about linear perspective. But today we are going to focus a little bit more on linear perspective. So yesterday we did a practice sketch drawing just to come up with ideas for our landscape. We did a landscape game. So you should have some kind of an ideas on what you want to put in your landscape drawing. I want to quickly show you just a final product of what a linear perspective drawing look like. This one specifically is a 1-point perspective because we got only one vanishing point in the far back right here, and a vanishing point is when everything, our view is kind of just vanish and disappear it far back into that 1 point. So we'll learn a little bit more about it. So I'm going to show you some examples. First, the definition of a 1-point perspective is a drawing method that shows how things appear to get smaller as they get further away, converging, that means meeting, toward a single vanishing point on the horizon line. It is a way of drawing objects upon a flat piece of paper or other drawing surface so that they look three-dimensional and realistic. So here is just a breakdown of what a linear perspective, in this case 1-point perspective drawing, looks like. So that red line right there is the horizon line, and that means that's the line that it's actually an invisible line, but it divides your view from into two parts. The earth right here, that's the bottom of the horizon line, that's underneath the line, and then the sky is above the horizon line. And then we have a vanishing point. Vanishing point is also an invisible point, but that is where everything kind of just meet and converge at that point. And the vanishing point is always on the horizon line, wherever you put it. So if here, the vanishing point is in the middle of our paper, but in my drawing that I show you, the vanishing point is on the far left side of the paper. I can put it here if I want to. I can put it here if I want to, but it has to be on the horizon line. All right. So let's take another look at some examples, some students' artworks that is 1-point perspective drawing. You can tell the difference between these two artworks. You can already tell that the point here, the vanishing point, is in the middle of the paper. And here, just like my drawing, the vanishing point is somewhere off the page, but we know that it's somewhere on the left side. And you can tell that everything kind of just gets smaller and smaller. That's another way to suggest space in art, is by changing its size. As it goes toward this vanishing point, everything gets smaller and shorter and shorter. But keep in mind, everything that you draw needs to be standing straight up. So it's actually a vertical kind of position right here. The building is also in vertical. It's not leaning on that line. It's actually standing straight up. So here we got some trees on the left side, and we got a river going toward somewhere in the far back. Let's take a look at this one. This one, another 1-point perspective drawing where the vanishing point is in the middle of the paper. I think the students did a great job drawing the trees on the left side standing straight up, but you can tell that the building here looks like it's about to fall. Well, it's starting to look like it's going to fall because the student didn't draw a vertical line. The line here is kind of like a diagonal line. So keep in mind, it's very important that you draw things on the side. It's important that you draw them straight up, vertically up. Now when we draw when you draw your sketch and your final work, it doesn't have to be a real landscape. The students had fun with it, and the students did a imaginary landscape. So it's an imaginary place, and I really enjoy looking at this one because the buildings look like where they were placed with, looks like lollipop or ice cream, and it's just very colorful, very fun to look at. Candies in the air, so just very fun. Now we're going to look at this one, and in this drawing you can tell there's just a little bit different from all the other ones. And here, when I was talking about drawing vertical lines instead of diagonal line, the students right here, this is an example of what you should not do, even though the student did a great job drawing the trees straight up. So had the student draw the lines for the building straight up, then it would be a correct 1-point perspective drawing. Okay, and then here we have another different style of drawing. We have still 1-point perspective, but this is a street and train, so different ideas. But I can tell right here we got a look like from a higher perspective, like we're in the sky. And here is 4 pictures of 1-point perspective drawing. Alright, so we are going to do a sketch today, and I want you to practice sketching. And if you can, take a picture or scan your sketch so that you can submit it to me, and I will give you feedback. You can also try recording a video of yourself showing me your sketch and explaining to me what you did and your ideas behind it, what you need help with, and I can also give you feedback that way as well. But I'll provide all the information as to where to submit over here for your Digital Learning Day activity. So it's a 4th grade 1-point perspective sketch, Digital Learning Day 3. You can also save your sketch and turn it in physical form to me when we come back to school. Alright, this video is going to be 2 parts, so I am going to stop here and then I will create a second part so we can spend a little bit more time drawing.